Hello students, in present video I am going to explain about first problem from rectification of errors lesson. Question and answers are available in the description box. On rectification of errors topic, I made one video, introduction video. In that video, I explained the meaning of errors in accounts, meaning of rectification of errors, types of errors in accounts. So video link is available in the description box. Let us see the question first.
Rectify the following errors. First one, salary paid to Pavan 1200 rupees has been debited to his account. Second one, 2000 paid for regular repairs of building was debited to building account. Third, furniture purchased 20,000 has been charged to purchase account. Fourth, sale of machinery 10,000 rupees treated as sale of goods. Fifth, rent of proprietor's residence 25,000 debited to rent account. Sixth, 400 received from Kiran against debt previously written off has been credited to his account. Seventh, 5,000 rupees spent on whitewashing of building was charged to building account. This is a question. Let us see the solution for this.
First one, salary paid to Pavan 1200 rupees has been debited to his account. So before writing rectification of error entries, remember one point. In firm's books, we are writing these entries. Therefore, each and every transaction and mistake, we have to analyze from firm's point of view. So transaction is salary paid to Pavan 1200 rupees. We are running a firm. Pavan is our employee. We paid salary to him. From the firm, cash is going. To write rectification of error entries, some steps we should follow. First step is correct entry we should see. To Pavan, we are paying salary. So every transaction contains minimum two accounts. These two accounts first we should identify. Firm paid salaries to Pavan. Expenditure name is salary. Salary account is one account. And from the firm, cash is going. Therefore, cash account is another account. Don't take Pavan account here because to whom we are paying that expenditure, that person name is immaterial to us. Only expenditure name, and as cash is going from us, cash account we should write. Then accounts are of three types: personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. If any account is opened with a person name or firm name, it is personal account. For example, Rama account, Krishna account, State Bank of India account, etc. Real account, if any account is opened with one asset name, it is real account. Suppose machinery account, building account, furniture account, etc. Nominal accounts, if any account is opened with one expenditure name, loss name, income name or gain name, profit name, it is a nominal account. Suppose salary account, rent account, bad debt account, commission received account, etc. Salary account is a nominal account. Think from firm's point of view. Firm is paying salary to employee. To the firm, it is an expenditure. Expenses come under nominal account now. Salary account is a nominal account. Cash account. Cash means asset. All assets are real accounts now. Cash account is a real account. Then apply the double entry principles. For personal account, double entry rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. For real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For nominal account, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. This is nominal account. Rule is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. To the firm, salary is an expenditure. Expenditure we should debit now. Salary account we should debit. Real account rule. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Means to the firm, if cash is coming, we should debit cash account. From the firm, if cash is going, we should credit cash account. Here, from the firm cash is going. Therefore, cash account we should credit. Final entry is salary account debtor to cash account. In journal book, we write this entry, and this entry is to be posted in ledger book. In ledger, we open salary account and cash account. In these two accounts, we should post this entry. In ledger, salary account, cash account. Account contains two sides now, debit side and credit side. Entry is salary account data to cash account. This entry we should post in salary account and in cash account. Because in journal entry, salary account, cash account, both we wrote. In salary account, we said we should post as salary account is debited in the entry. On debit side, we should post to cash account 1200 rupees. In cash account, in journal entry, cash account is credited. Therefore, in cash account on credit side, we should post this entry. By salary account 1200 rupees. Thus, first you have to think the correct entry and correct posting. Now come to the error which is committed by the accountant. Salary paid to Pavan 1200 has been debited to his account. Means while writing the journal entry, instead of debiting salaries account, accountant debited Pavan account. He thought that cash paid to Pavan. So Pavan is a receiver. Pavan account comes under personal account now. Personal account rule. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. As Pavan is a receiver, he debited Pavan account and cash is going from the firm. He credited cash account. He doesn't know that in case of expenditure, person names we should not consider. Expenditure name we should take as an account. So he has completely omitted salary word. Instead of showing it as an expenditure, salary expenditure, he wrote in the books that we paid cash to Pavan. When it is a correct entry, Pavan account to cash account, if transaction is cash paid to Pavan 1200, then you can write Pavan account data to cash account. But when transaction is this, salary paid to Pavan, entry should be salary account data to cash account. According to this wrong entry, nothing was debited in salaries account. Because in journal entry, we have not debited salary. And unnecessarily, in Pavan account, this 1200 rupees debited to cash 1200 rupees. Now observe, mistake is in how many accounts? In two accounts. In cash account, it is properly posted. Instead of debiting salary account, accountant has debited Pavan account. This is a mistake. Now, finally, we should observe how to rectify this mistake. In salaries account, how to rectify this error? 1200 should be debited, but not debited by the accountant. If you debit 1200 in salaries account, this error will be rectified. Similarly, in Pavan account, mistake is unnecessarily 1200 is debited. Now this 1200 we should cancel. If any debit amount you want to cancel, same amount you have to write on credit side. Similarly, if any credit amount you want to cancel, same amount you have to write on debit side. Now debit amount I want to cancel. Therefore, 1200 rupees on credit side we should write. So that these two amounts will get cancelled. Finally, in Pavan account, nothing was debited. So our answer is salary account should be debited with 1200 rupees and the Pavan account should be credited with 1200 rupees. So based on these two answers, we should frame the rectification entry. Entry is salary account should be debited, Pavan account should be credited. Therefore, salary account data to Pavan account. Where we should write this entry? Rectification entry. Suppose this is a small firm. So they maintain journal book. In journal, we should write this entry. If it is a big firm, big firms maintain subsidiary books. Total 8 subsidiary books we have. Purchase book, purchase returns book, sales returns book, cash book, bills receivables book, bills payables book, journal proper. In journal proper, we should write this rectification of error entries. Our assumption is this is a big firm. Let us see how this rectification of error entry appears in journal proper.
In journal proper, serial number, particulars, LF number, debit and credit. Salaries account debtor to Pavan account. 1200 rupees, 1200 rupees. Narration. Being salary paid to Pavan debited to his account is rectified.
Second one, 2000 rupees paid for regular repairs of building was debited to buildings account. To maintain the building in good condition, regularly firms supposed to spend some repair charges. So they paid that repair expenditure, 2000 rupees. Expenditure is divided into two types, capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Rare expenses come under capital expenses. And regular expenses, recurring expenses are known as revenue expenses. Suppose firm purchased a second-hand building. To bring that building in usage, firm spend money on repair. So this is rare expenditure. Only for one time firm is incurring this repair expenditure. In that case, repair expenditure becomes capital expenditure. In that case, that repair amount we should add to building value. Suppose building we purchased for 10 lakh rupees and to bring that second hand building in usage, we spend 1 lakh rupees towards repairs. Now, building value should be taken as 11 lakh rupees. Means this repair charges 1 lakh, we are adding to building value. Now, building value becomes 11 lakh. But here, repair charges are regular expenses. So, we purchased new building. After some years of usage, slowly it is becoming older, and to maintain this building, regularly we started spending repair expenditure. So this is recurring in nature. So it is a revenue expenditure. If it is a revenue expenditure, then that expenditure name clearly we have to show in the journal entry. Expenditure name is repair. So repairs account debtor to cash account. This is the correct entry. Firm is paying repair charges. So from the firm, cash is going towards repair expenditure. So to write the rectification of error entries, we have to follow some steps. First step is see the transaction and think the correct entry for that. Transaction is 2000 paid for repairs. So we should think the correct entry for this. Two accounts we have. One is expenditure name. Expenditure name is repair. Therefore, repair account is one account. Next, from the firm cash is going. Therefore, cash account is another account. Next step, grouping. Repair is expenditure. So all expenses related accounts are nominal accounts. Therefore, repairs account is a nominal account. Cash means asset. If any account is opened with the asset name, it is real account. Cash account is a real account. Then finally, apply the double entry principles. For nominal account principle is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. To the firm, this is expenditure. Therefore, we should debit repairs account. Real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. From the firm, cash is going, therefore credit is applicable. Credit what goes out is applicable. Then the final entry is repairs account debtor to cash account. This is a correct entry. Next step, correct posting. In ledger, we have to post this entry in repairs account and cash account. In entry, repairs account is debited. Therefore, in repairs account, on debit side, we should post this entry. To cash, amount 2000 rupees. In entry, cash account is credited. Therefore, in cash account, on credit side, we should post this entry. Buy repairs, 2000 rupees. Correct entry, correct posting. Now, the last step to write the rectification of error entry is observe the mistake. What mistake accountant did? 2000 paid for regular repairs of building was debited to buildings account. So accountant is not maintaining a discrimination between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. This is revenue expenditure in nature. Therefore, repair account is to be debited. But accountant debited buildings account. Means he thought that this repair expenditure is a capital expenditure. So building related expenditure, therefore we should show in building account only. That is his analysis. Then instead of debiting repairs account, accountant debited buildings account. Entry is buildings account data to cash account. So as per this wrong entry, posting is like this. As repair account is not debited, nothing was debited in repairs account. He debited buildings account now. Therefore, in buildings account on debit side, they wrote 2000 rupees. Error is in two accounts, in repairs account and in buildings account. Cash account is properly posted, so don't touch that. 2000 should be debited to repairs account, but accountant has not debited. Now how to rectify this error? Debit 2000 rupees in repair account. In building account, what is a mistake? Unnecessarily 2000 was debited. Now we should cancel this. How to cancel? By crediting same amount in building account, we have to cancel this amount. Now, based on these answers, let us frame the rectification of error entry. In repairs account debit side we got answer. In buildings account credit side we got answer. Therefore, rectification of error is repair account data to building account. Let us see how this rectification of error entry appears in general proper.
Second entry, repair account data to building account 2000. Narration, being entry to rectify the mistake of debiting building instead of repairs.
Third point, furniture purchased 20,000 rupees has been charged to purchases account. Firm purchased furniture. From whom? Seller's name is not given. Means it is cash purchase. So we are buying furniture and immediately we are paying money. To the firm, furniture is coming. From the firm, cash is going. So to write rectification of error entry, first step is we should see the transaction and we should think the correct entry for this transaction. What happened here? Furniture is coming and cash is going. Therefore, two accounts we have. Furniture account, cash account. Furniture is coming now. Therefore, furniture account we should consider here. This is also an expenditure. Furniture purchased is an expenditure. Expenditure is of two types now. Capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. This expenditure comes under capital because furniture, building, land, vehicles, all these are fixed assets. So we buy them rarely. It is a non-recurring transaction. Therefore, it is capital expenditure. If it is a capital expenditure, then asset name we should consider as one account. Asset name is furniture now. So furniture account is one account. Furniture, cash. Both are assets. So assets come under real accounts. Both are real accounts. Real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For these two accounts, same rule is applicable. Furniture is coming, first line is applicable. Debit what comes in. Furniture account we should debit. Cash is going, second line is applicable. Credit what goes out. Cash account we should credit. Then the final entry is furniture account data to cash account. In journal, we should write this entry. Then second step in writing rectification of error entry is see the correct posting. In ledger, in furniture account and in cash account, we should post this entry. Furniture is debited. Therefore, in furniture account on debit side, we should post this entry. To cash, 20,000 rupees. Cash account is credited. Therefore, in cash account, credit side, we should post. Buy furniture, 20,000 rupees. Correct entry, correct posting. Now observe the mistake. Furniture purchased 20,000 has been charged to purchase account. Accountant thought that we incurred one expenditure. So expenditure name is purchases account. Purchases account is a nominal account. Nominal account rule. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. This is purchase expenditure. Therefore, he debited purchases account. When we should debit purchases account? When goods are purchased, then we should debit purchases account. Because goods purchase is a recurring transaction. Again and again we buy goods. Goods means the articles which are meant for sale purpose. So we are going to sell these goods to customers. Suppose take one stationery shop. They sell stationery items. To stationery shop owner, stationery items come under goods. Goods regularly we buy because regularly we sell them to customers. So if goods are purchased, then we should debit purchases account. Means in case of regular purchases, in case of revenue expenditure, debiting purchase account is correct. Fixed asset is purchased here. Capital expenditure this is. Even though accountant has debited purchases account. So a capital expenditure is recorded as a revenue expenditure. That is a mistake here. According to this wrong entry, nothing was debited in furniture account. As purchase account is debited in the entry, in purchases account on debit side they wrote to cash 20,000 rupees. Error is in two accounts. In cash account amount is properly posted. In furniture account 20,000 was not debited. In purchases account unnecessarily 20,000 was debited. How to rectify them? In furniture account 20,000 is not debited. This is a mistake. To rectify this error, debit 20,000 rupees. This is first answer. In purchases account, unnecessarily they debited 20,000. Now we should cancel this. To cancel this 20,000, write it on credit side. So based on these two answers, let us frame the journal entry. In furniture account, debit side we should post 20,000. In purchases account, credit side we should post 20,000. Then the rectification of error entry is furniture account data to purchases account. Let us see how it appears in journal proper.
Third entry, furniture account data to purchases account 20,000, 20,000. Narration, being correction of wrong debit to purchase account for furniture purchased.
Fourth point, sale of machinery 10,000 rupees treated as sale of goods. Sale of machinery. Firm sold machinery. To whom? Buyer's name is not given. Then the meaning is this is cash sale. If buyer name is given, then the meaning is firm wants to remember buyer's name in the books. Why? Because firm sold goods to him or firm sold asset to him on credit. In future, from that person, we should color that amount. We should remember his name. If buyer's name is not given, then the meaning is we sold this machine for cash. So we need not to remember the buyer's name. Cash is coming to us on the same day. This is income now. Incomes are of two types. Capital incomes, revenue incomes. Capital income or capital receipt means rare income. For example, firm took loan from bank. This is capital receipt. Firm sold shares to public. This is capital receipt. Machinery, this asset is totally damaged. So firm wants to replace this asset with a new one. Then this damaged machinery firm sold. It is rare income. It is capital income. In case of capital income, one account is that asset name. As machinery is going from us, machinery account is to be taken as one account. We sold machinery for cash now. Cash is coming. Therefore, cash account is one account. Cash, machinery, both are assets. Assets come under real account. These two accounts are real accounts. Real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Cash is coming into the firm. Debit cash account. Machinery is going from the firm. Credit machinery account. Then the final entry is cash account data to machinery account. This is the correct entry. Then think about posting. Cash account, machinery account. In these two accounts, we should post this entry. As cash is debited, in cash account, debit side we should post. To machinery account, 10,000 rupees. Machinery account is credited. Therefore, in machinery account, on credit side we should post. Buy cash, 10,000 rupees. Correct entry, correct posting. Now come to the error. Error is sale of machinery 10,000 rupees treated as sale of goods. Sale of goods. This is regular income because firm regularly sells goods to customers. So if it is regular income, then you can credit sales account. Regular incomes come under revenue incomes. In case of revenue income, sales account we can credit. Actually, this is capital income, but accountant wrote this as revenue income. Instead of crediting machinery account, accountant credited sales account. Then, according to this wrong entry, cash account data to sales account, nothing was credited in machinery account and unnecessarily in sales account they credited this 10,000 rupees. Amount is properly posted in cash account. Therefore, you need not to make any changes in cash account. Error is in these two accounts now. Now rectify these errors. In machinery account, 10,000 is to be credited but not credited. How to rectify this error? By crediting 10,000 in this account. This is one answer. In sales account, 10,000 should not be credited, but by mistake accountant has credited this amount. Now this amount we should cancel. How to cancel? By debiting 10,000 to this account, we should cancel. This is one answer. In machinery account credit side we got answer. In sales account debit side we got answer. Based on this, let us frame the rectification of error entry. Entry is sales account debtor to machinery account. By seeing this entry, you will get one doubt. That is, sales account we are debiting. So sales means income. Income always we should credit. Then why we are debiting? You should always keep one point in mind. That is, present lesson is rectification of errors. Here we are not writing any entry for transactions. We are writing rectification of error entries. When you write entries for transactions, then these rules you can follow. Sales always we should credit. Purchases always debit. Expenses always debit. Means nominal accounts rules are applicable for writing journal entries in journal book. But when rectification of error entries you are writing, entry depends on the answers, not on double entry principles. In sales account, answer came on debit side. That is why while writing rectification of error entry, sales account is debited. Let us see how this entry appears in journal proper.
Fourth entry, sales account debtor to machinery account 10,000, 10,000. Narration, being correction of wrong credit given to sales account for sale of machinery.
Fifth one, rent of proprietor's residence 25,000 debited to rent account. Proprietor means owner. Assume this is sole proprietorship business. Owner's name is Ravi. Ravi has to pay rent of his residence. From the firm, he withdrew money and with that amount he paid this rent. You are an accountant of this firm. While recording accounting transactions in books, we should follow accounting concepts and accounting conventions. There is one accounting concept known as business entity concept. This concept says that while recording accounting transactions in books, accountant should maintain a discrimination between owner's personal transactions and the firm's transactions. Shop rent, owner's residence rent, both are not same. Shop rent is business expenditure. Owner's residence rent is his personal expenditure. So how we should analyze this transaction? From the firm, Ravi is taking money. So Ravi is an outsider here as per business entity concept. To an outsider, we are paying money. Therefore, Ravi account is one account. From the firm, cash is going. Cash account is one account. Ravi account, with the person name we opened this account. This is personal account. Cash account. Cash is asset now. With asset name we opened this account, therefore it is a real account. Finally, apply the double entry principles. Personal account principle, debit the receiver, credit the giver. From the firm, Ravi is taking money. He is a receiver. we should debit Ravi account. Real account rule. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. From the firm cash is going, second line is applicable. Credit cash account. And owner's name we should not record in the books. If owner's name comes in credit, instead of owner's name we should write capital word. If owner's name comes in debit, instead of that name we should write drawings account. Owner's name is coming on debit now. Instead of Ravi account, we should write drawings account. Final entry is drawings account data to cash account. This is the correct entry. Correct posting? In drawings account, debit side we should post 25,000 rupees. In cash account, on credit side. Correct entry, correct posting. Now observe what is the mistake. Rent of proprietor's residence 25,000 debited to rent account. So accountant doesn't know about business entity concept. Rent paid for business. Entry is rent account data to cash account. Rent paid for owner's residence. Entry is drawings account data to cash account. Accountant doesn't know about this. He debited rent account instead of debiting drawings account. As per this wrong entry, nothing was debited in drawings account and in rent account 25,000 rupees debited. Error is in these two accounts. In cash account properly it is posted. Don't touch this. How to rectify this error? In drawings account 25,000 should be debited. It is not debited. Now you debit that amount. In rent account nothing should be debited. Unnecessarily they debited 25,000. Now this amount we should cancel. By crediting we should cancel. In drawings account, debit side we got answer. In rent account, credit side. Based on these answers, frame the rectification of error entry. Drawings account data to rent account.
Fifth entry, drawings account data to rent account, 25,000, 25,000. Narration, being correction of wrong debit to rent for rent of proprietor's residence.
Sixth one, 400 received from Kiran against a debt previously written off has been credited to his account. Transaction is 400 received from Kiran against a debt previously written off. First, what is the journal entry for this transaction? Let us see. To understand the journal entry for this transaction, we should see from starting. 400 received from Kiran against a debt previously written off. From Kiran, 400 we should receive. Why we should receive? Because firm sold goods to Kiran on credit. Sales amount is 400 rupees. From the firm, goods are going. How we know that goods are sold on credit? Because customer's name is given in the question. Entry is to Kiran we sold goods. Therefore, Kiran account is one account. From the firm, goods are going. Therefore, goods account is one account. Grouping. Kiran account. With the person name, we open this account. It is a personal account. Goods account. Goods means asset now. This is real account. Personal account role. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Kiran is a receiver. Debit him. Real account role. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Goods are going. Credit goods account. We should not write goods name in the entry because goods account comes in four circumstances. When goods are purchased, when goods are sold, in case of purchase returns, in case of sales returns. So if you write only goods word, there is no clarity. Whether it is a purchase transaction, sales transaction, purchase return or sales return, there is no clarity. Therefore, instead of writing goods word, write on the transaction name. This is sales transaction. Write down sales account. First entry is Kiran account data to sales account. Next, what happened? Kiran failed to pay this 400 rupees. In first entry, we debited Kiran account with 400. When any personal account is debited, then the meaning is he is a debtor. Means he is liable to the firm. Kiran is liable to the firm because he has to pay 400 rupees. Now we came to know that this 400 is not going to come. For us, this is loss. And this loss is known as bad debt. Bad debt account we should open. Bad debt account comes under loss now. Losses are nominal accounts. Nominally control, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. As bad debt is loss, we should debit bad debt account. Loss amount is 400. 2. When we are writing this 400 as bad debt, it is meaningless to show that Kiran is a debtor now. Now he is not a debtor because from him 400 is not going to come. By debiting, we created a debtor account, Kiran account. If you want to cancel this debtor amount, we should credit to Kiran account 400 rupees. Already these two entries firm wrote in books. Now, see the transaction. 400 received from Kiran against a debt previously written off. Previously written off means this is the entry for that. For writing off the debt, this is the entry. To understand this entry, I wrote first entry also. Now, when that amount is coming to us, we thought that Kiran is not going to pay this 400. But luckily, one day he came to our shop, he paid that amount. For this, we should write the journal entry. So from Kiran, cash is coming to us. Cash is asset. This is real account. Real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. From Kiran, cash is coming now. Therefore, we should debit cash account. Kiran paid 400 rupees to us. Debit cash account with 400. And which account is to be credited? Now this bad debt we should cancel because money kill. So don't write bad debt here. Instead of that, write down bad debt recover account 400 rupees. This is the journal entry for this transaction. 400 received from Kiran against a debt previously written off. For this transaction, correct entry is cash account debtor to bad debt recover account. This entry we should post in ledger book. In cash account we should post. In bad debt recover account we should post. Cash account is debited. Therefore, in cash account on debit side we should post to bad debt recover account 400 rupees. In entry, bad debt recover account is credited. So in bad debt recover account, credit side we should post by cash 400 rupees. Correct entry, correct posting. Now observe what is the mistake. Written has been credited to his account. Accountant thought that from Kiran cash is coming. Kiran account is one account. Kiran account is a personal account. Personal account rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Kiran is giving money. Therefore, he credited Kiran account instead of crediting bad debt recover account. So this wrong entry is posted in ledger. As per this wrong entry, nothing was credited in bad debt recover account and unnecessarily in Kiran account 400 was credited. Now this error we should rectify. In bad debt recover account we need 400 rupees on credit. Write down that. In Kiran account we should not credit 400. So we should cancel this. By debiting 400 we have to cancel. Answers are in bad debt recover account credit side 400, in Kiran account debit side 400. Based on these answers, what is the rectification of error entry? Kiran account debtor to bad debt recover account.
Sixth entry, Kiran account debtor to bad debt recovered account 400. Narration, being entry to rectify the mistake of crediting Kiran account instead of bad debt recovered account.
Last point. 5,000 spent on whitewashing of building was charged to building account. Whitewash of building, painting. This is rare expenditure. You may think that as this is rare expenditure, it is capital expenditure. No. First difference between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure is capital expenditure is a rare expenditure, non-recurring in nature. revenue expenditure is a recurring expenditure, repeated expenditure. Not only that, there are so many other factors to decide whether one expenditure is a capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Because of a capital expenditure, present earnings increase. Because of a revenue expenditure, present earnings will be maintained. Suppose there is one building where we are running our shop, 2 floors. We constructed third floor also. To construct third floor, firm spent extra amount. This expenditure comes under capital expenditure because in that third floor also we start sales, our present earnings increase. But whitewashing expenditure, even though it is a rare expenditure, because of this expenditure, present earnings are not going to increase. As whitewashing is done, no extra customers come now. So this expenditure is incurred to maintain the present earnings. If whitewashing expenditure is not incurred, then building becomes old. Customers hesitate to visit our shop. Our present earnings may decrease. So to maintain the present earnings, we incur this expenditure. Therefore, it is revenue expenditure. If it is capital expenditure, then this repair expenditure 5,000 we can add to building value. If it is revenue expenditure, this 5,000 we have to show clearly as building maintenance expenditure, not building account. Building maintenance account we should create here. So the correct entry is, there are two accounts. First one, expenditure name. Expenditure name is building maintenance account. Why not building account? If you write building account, then the meaning is 5,000 rupees you are adding to building. When we have to add like that, if this 5,000 is a capital expenditure, then only. But this is revenue expenditure, don't write building account. Building maintenance account means expenditure account be opened. From the firm cash is going, therefore second account is cash account. Building maintenance account, expenditure, no, this is nominal account. Cash account, asset, therefore real account. Nominal account rule, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Building maintenance account is expenditure, it should be debited. Real account rule, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. From the firm cash is going, we should credit cash account. Then the final entry is building maintenance account debtor to cash account. In ledger, we should post this entry in building maintenance account and in cash account. In building maintenance account, on debit side we should post, because in journal entry we debited this account, amount 5,000 rupees. In cash account, on credit side we should post, because in journal entry we created cash. Correct entry, correct posting. Now observe what is the mistake. 5,000 spent on whitewashing of building was charged to building account. So accountant thought that for building we spend this expenditure, therefore building is to be debited. Means a revenue expenditure is treated as a capital expenditure. Instead of debiting building maintenance account, accountant debited buildings account. So as per this wrong entry, nothing was debited in building maintenance account, and unnecessarily in building account they have debited this 5,000 rupees. In cash account, proper side only we posted, therefore don't touch this. Rectify these two errors. In building maintenance account, we need 5,000 on debit side. Write on that. In building account, we should cancel this 5,000. By crediting, we have to cancel. Now, based on these answers, we should frame the rectification entry. In building maintenance account debit side, we should post 5,000. In building account credit side, we should post this 5,000. So the entry is building maintenance account debtor to buildings account. Let us see how this entry appears in journal proper.
Seventh entry, building and maintenance account debtor to buildings account, 5,000, 5,000. Narration: being entry to rectify the mistake of debiting building instead of building and a maintenance account. This is the end of present video. Hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you.